pandemic has shut many establishments, but at the same time, it has opened new revenue generation models. And like there have been a lot of companies who have not hired people. And even I read about Hotel Rotana that not just they did not fire their employees, but they also generated a new revenue generation model by lending their loaning out their employees to other companies and to Dubai's health authority for their call center and making calls for this thing. So that's how they did not fire their employees and also created revenue out of it. So, are there any, do you also suggest any other such measures or revenue generation models that have, uh,
Sure.
originated after
So I
post-pandemic?
normally these things happen
Mm,
throughout civilization. By the way, it's not something new
mm,
because the pandemic puts it all and compresses it into 1 year. We're all seeing it. Normally
yes.
seismic changes are happening over a long period of time. So, for example, look back 100 years ago, the top 100 companies. How many of
Mm,
them are around today? Probably less than 1%. One or two are still around. Or
mm,
don't go too far. 50 years ago, or take
mm,
20 years ago, or take even
mm,
10 years ago.
mm,
Take 5 years ago.
mm.
So people, companies, and people and industries need to evolve. You know,
Yes.
Unfortunately, the pandemic forced that evolution requirement was compressed over a period of 1 year, right? So
Yeah.
what is trying to tell you is that you need to be very, first of all, before we talk about businesses, let's talk about
Mm,
the people.
mm,
If I take the telecom industry, if I look at
mm,
the people that are working in the telecom industry today, I
mm,
can guarantee you that 80% of them will not be
mm,
fit to work there in the next 10 years because they
mm.
need to evolve their skills. And this is not something new,
Yeah.
I keep saying. People need to evolve
Yes.
their skills. For example,
Mm,
what millennials and young people know about digital marketing and stuff.
mm.
Most of the mid-level managers and above have absolutely no clue. They think it's just
Yes.
going on Facebook or Twitter and doing
Yeah.
some stuff. Like, it is not. It's beyond that. So that's
Yeah.
just a very glaring example that we can have. On the company side, they also need to evolve. That's why I said there will be people that will get dropped out. The survival of the fittest. The
Yes.
Malthusian theory of the survival of the fittest will come into play. So the people, if you don't adapt, you cannot. So adaptation for small and medium businesses means, first of all, let's talk about how their mind state is. Most small and medium businesses are opportunists. They don't think strategically. So what that means is that you have an employee, they say, oh, I need to keep an eye on this guy. He needs
Mm.
to come to work. He needs to be here. This is a clerk. I don't agree remote
Yes.
work. All this sort of very
Yes.
petty thinking. You have to have an open mind about it because it is
Yes.
actually saving the person money. First and foremost, if an
Yes.
employee was getting 100 before, I can
Mm.
renegotiate with the employee and say, look, you don't have to drive to work. I save you three,
Mm.
4 hours a day to getting stuck in traffic. You get to spend
Yes.
more time with your family. Can you take this cut? Take this
Yes.
cut for
Yes.
this. And he also, he or the investor or the business guy or the entrepreneur will also save money on his real estate costs and his utility costs and so forth. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And they should
Yes.
have
Yes.
better,
Yes.
they should adopt better technologies to manage, monitor, to ensure delivery happens. you know
Yeah.
so
Yes.
so these things, this is a way of adopting the right technology. So the way I would do it is I would break it down. There's a
Mm.
revenue generation component, how I can get more
Mm.
revenue using the new technologies that are possible. you know
Yes.
how I can support my customers using the new technologies possible. I don't
Mm.
necessarily need to have a call center for that. I can do it like we are doing right now, or I
Mm.
can do a web chat. Most people, they don't. If you look at, even you look at the UAE or India or anywhere in the world, prior to the pandemic, only about 10 to 15% of the companies even have a website presence. you know
Mm.
they don't.
Mm.
Now they have to go beyond having a website presence, right? So
Yes.
then, first,
Exactly.
revenue generation; second, customer service; third, how you deal with your suppliers; fourth, how you deal with your employees. There should be
Mm.
tools around that. Imagine the money it saves. Last but not least, they are spending a big chunk of their money on real estate investments. That
Yes.
people all have to go into one place and do that. You don't need that. So maybe the overpriced urban jungles probably will shift more to the suburban and other areas. This is what I believe will happen. So
Yeah.
so they need to adopt technology. First and foremost, their mindset. Secondly, the type of people that they hire should have the technological capability or the adaptability, or they need to be retrained. Thirdly, they themselves need to deploy technologies for more revenue generation, for more customer service, for more cost reductions, for more employee management, and so forth. That's the essence of what I
Yeah.
would say. Okay.